Okay, so this video is being recorded for Vision Class YouTube channel, and hopefully I can post it to Facebook if it's not too long, but we'll see. And anyways, I'll probably have to repeat myself if more viewers come in, like if a ton more viewers come in, but just so you know, some people may have noticed that I have no videos on Sugar Free TV. I will make a video about this if nothing else. I will make a Facebook video just for Facebook so that people can get the message. I am, as you guys may know, I'm a ballroom dancer, and my profession is very specific about what you need to portray. And since I've dreamt of this career for the last 5 years of my life, and since it has been really good to me and the people there are really good to me, and I love my life there, I am so evolved because of dancing professionally now in that field, which I have wanted for so long, that I take it so seriously that I don't need to have videos on Sugar Free TV right now. And the reason I don't need to have videos on Sugar Free TV is because I know their expectations and I don't want to test it. However, I have a lot of integrity about the work that I've done that has been, that I've been passionate about. One of those things being Vision Class. So although I did remove the videos of Vision Class from Sugar Free TV, I'm happy to tell you they're all successfully uploaded to my other channel, which is Vision Class. However, it's not fully, the kinks aren't worked out in terms of there's no links, there's no description, the titles aren't even right. I just put them up there so that people could have access to them. Not that everybody's checking for those anyway. And that way, when I go to revamp Sugar Free TV, if I even touch it ever again, everything's in the right place anyway. The thing about it is I don't know if I will resurrect Sugar Free TV. I don't know if I'm going to resurrect that. And the reason I don't know if I will resurrect it is it's reminiscent of a person who I was. It was what brought me so much love and kindness from you guys. But in the end, Sugar Free TV was always just a conglomerate of anything that I could do to make somebody do them better, whether it be cook better or do your makeup better or whatever. Just recognize who you are so you could figure out whether or not you even want to do makeup or hair. Everything that I've done on Sugar Free TV has been good to me, but it's an era in my life. It's a phase. It's a representation of a certain person. Not to say that those videos shouldn't be up, but at this time where I'm trying to go with ballroom, I can't have that out there. I can have certain ones out there, but I have to pick and choose very wisely, because at the discretion of myself, if I then have an issue with the dancing world, who, that particular part of the dancing world does want you to represent a certain image. If I have a problem there, I don't want it to emanate from that. And not that I can control whether or not the problem emanates from there, but nonetheless, I just want to be able to feel really good about what's out there, so that if for any reason I am disbanded from my dancing career, that I am able to feel really good about what I had out there anyways, to the point where it was worth it, So that's why I am doing this now. And like I said, it's very difficult for some people to understand, but a lot of us think with ourselves. We don't think about the big picture, and so we're all like, but I want that video, or I really like that video. Good news is, if you like my videos, you can always email me at sugarfreemail@rocketmail.com, and I can always send you the link to the video unlisted so that you have private rental over this video, essentially. And then when I'm ready to usurp it, I'll take it back. But at least you'll have the opportunity to watch what you want to watch. I'm not concerned about new viewers coming to Sugar Free TV. There haven't been for a while. There have been some here and there on a video of mine, or a couple videos. But true subscribers are the ones that are like you guys, that are here for an impromptu video. That's the real subscribers. So I know that if I'm looking to work with you guys, I know that you'll work with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not telling you can never see the video, but to just have it out there right now in my life is not a good idea. And you know, you want certain things to represent you, and perhaps it's something for a sizzle reel, but it's not something just to be out there because it doesn't represent me actually at this point in my life anyway. Okay, so for those of you that are new, I just explained I'm recording this to be posted to YouTube, but not to Sugar Free TV, to Vision Class channel, which is where videos will go now, because most of those videos are going to be spiritual, and they'll be comedic at times. But, you know, makeup, hair, postpone for now. Look, y'all, I almost ran into an incident. That's why I'm being so fervent about this matter. Okay, so that being said, I would like to get preachy, if that's okay with you. Are you ready for some preachiness? Raise your hand for an amen. Okay. I don't know what I want to entitle this just yet, because that'll be the title of this video. But here is a new epiphany in my life. Hopefully it will help some of you. The new epiphany in my life is what goes around comes around. Does that mean karma? It just means life is cyclic, right? And I have another video talking about this. But anyways, what goes around comes around. The situations that you had 3 years ago. Can this lighting be cute? I mean, can we did our hair today. Like, can we not have problems? Can you work? Hold on. Got to do my lighting. Oh, look, see the difference? But now you got a shadow. See all the challenges that... Thanks to you guys, look at this here. Now I can make this cute. You don't know what's happening, but I'm fixing this for you. This might not even be the best lighting because this is the, what you call it, this is the built-in camera. Look, you gotta make a quality video sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Okay, can you work it? Oh, God. Why? Why is this happening in life? Is that better? I don't like the shadow. It needs to be over there, but, you know. Who can do that? Nobody can do that. Okay, so anyway, there's a chair there. That's why I can't do it. Okay, so. Erica, what's up? I've blossomed beautifully. Preach on. Oh, thank you. I'm oily as well today because I put a lot of makeup on. So, look, okay, let's just, okay. It's girl talk now. You know, ain't no guys in here. And even if they are, they're gay men like myself, so you know that's who's on here. So anyways, first and foremost, let's talk about what goes around comes around, and the other thing I want to talk about is how reflective your environment is of you. It's deep. It's about to be deep. I'm trying not to make this too long, but it might get long because sometimes I cannot explain something simply. First things first, Erica actually knows this about me because I've chatted with her before, and basically, y'all all know this, to get my weight and my eating under control has been obviously a fluctuating thing, and it's been an ever present and ever occurring theme in my life. I'm sorry. See, this is the thing now, when you start like producing your own stuff, you start seeing things that you want to change. Okay. I have a lot of videos that I like to be elevated so you can see the full hair. You see what I'm saying? Like, can I sit down so you can see it? Okay, whatever. You know, you don't want to look like you, like, it looks like, is she bald? What's happening? Okay, so anyways, I'm uploading videos for you. I have been recording videos. I have a lot of videos that I've recorded for everybody. Yes, they're really good. They're really good. But they're all spiritual. Like I said, they're going to go on Vision Class channel. So, and I need to burp. Okay, it's happened. All right, so that being said, let me talk to you about what's going on with me because it's going to segue. So here's what's going on with me. It's been hard to get my eating and everything under control, but as of late, I have. What is happening? The reason, sorry, my screen just shifted, even though I didn't touch it. Okay, what has been happening with me in my life is that I have begun manifesting things through thought. It's been a test of faith for me to actually think something and believe it so strongly that I am saying to myself, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And then it happens. So I've done this with so many things. I've done this with eating. I've done this with my style. My style has changed a little bit. I've done this with money. Like, I actually project money into my, I don't want to say money. I'll say income. I don't know. I don't want to use the word money because sometimes it's not money, but I project into my future certain things that I want to manifest, and they do. And I'm very relaxed when I project it. I'm like, I send it out there. I fixate on it. I water it with faith, right? Like I sit there and I'm like meditating on it. Like I think about it all the time, but not in a way that's like obsessing or nervous, just thinking about it and getting more, descriptive and more graphic with what I'm thinking of so that it can manifest. And things happen. Even losing weight happens. And the reason that it happens is the way that I focus is like, okay, I know I want to lose weight. So I start thinking thoughts of, I really like what I'm eating, yet I'm losing weight while eating it. So all of a sudden, and this is through the powers that be, and this is also just through self-motivation, and this is also through, once you have certain thoughts, you can channel them that you weren't able to channel before. Like before, I could not give up Diet Coke. I mean, I just could not do it. And I'm not going to lie, I've had some here and there, like, but I mean, whatever, because guess what I mostly drink? Water. And I'm like, now and is it a lifestyle change or is it a moment to moment thing? Well, since I'm evolving on every level, and that's what I'm going to introduce to you guys, since I'm evolving on every level, drinking the water coincides with my natural evolution anyway. So I know that it's a lifestyle change because I'm changing my life in every other aspect. I mean, things about me are very different. Like you can't see it here because this is kind of my junk room right now. It's not even messy, that messy. It's kind of messy. But the point is, my junk room is even organized. My life is organized now. Like my purse is organized. My bedroom is organized. It stays organized. It has stayed organized. So naturally, it reflects inward. Now I can ingest food that reflect, thank you, Wendy. I don't want to say, I want to say Wendy sometimes. Wendy. Okay. I see people's names on here, so I'm calling you by name. But yeah, so, like, guess how much I've lost? And this was what I fixated on. I was like, you know what, Shira, you don't need to be, because weight is a struggle, right? Like for people. And I'm like, let's not make it a struggle. Let's make it a harmonious thing. How is it harmonious? Okay, don't give up all your stuff all the time, but you just find yourself giving things up. And I'm like, is this permanent? Is this true? Is this real? Yes, like I said, on every other level, it's real. Like even me coming back into myself wanting to wear makeup, like, because I didn't even put in that effort before during the depressive states, right? So I'm like putting on makeup like this is just my everyday look now. And I'm like, this is back to me, but like the older me, like the evolved me, right? So she loves my shadows. Sorry, I'm reading the comments at the side. So everything is manifesting. It just is. It just is. So I found out 14 pounds today. I was like, get it? Like, you don't feel like you're, and that's the beautiful part. You don't feel like you're losing it. So then you start cutting people off and it's like heavy, you know what I mean? Like on, what you call it? Dream Girls. You cut these people off, you cut the weight off too, which I knew that was a psychological thing anyways, because Tay Queen broke this down to me like I have never heard before. Like this was my phase. Like she broke down, and I'm not going to break it down here, but she broke it down in terms of why certain people make you carry weight on certain parts of your body, how when you let them go, you let that go, and all of a sudden the weight just melts off in those areas and in general, because you're connecting your eating to the healing of that person that is still in your life. And it's very subconscious because most people, I was like, I am not an emotional eater. I was like, who are you talking about? It's not me. It's that person over there crying while they're eating a ho-ho. It's not me, but it is. It's obviously you, because if you eat, in general, things that are excessive and killing you, then of course it's emotional. Like why would you kill yourself with food? I mean, it goes deep. I'm not going there. So what is the message for today? Why am I bringing this up? And what are we going to say? So we're going to talk about the fact that life is cyclic in nature. So what goes around literally comes around. I'll break that down. And I'm also going to break down how your environment reflects you, just as I maintained that my reflection now is now my inner reflection, my inner growing is reflecting outwardly. Yes. Okay. So what am I doing? Okay, so, and if you guys missed it, if anyone's new, I did talk about why there are no videos on Sugar Free TV, but you would have to get it from the upload to Vision Class channel, which will happen. Okay, and I'm still working on the monthly seminar for October. It's not going to be missed. It's just that I've had technical difficulties that are now not happening. In fact, what am I doing? Okay, I have to wait 20 minutes before I can begin uploading things. Okay, whatever. I had to like pull things off of my hard drive into my external hard drive, which is 2 terabytes. Once again, thanks to you guys who donated and sent positive energy. Okay, so what goes around comes around. So I'm not talking about karma. I'm talking about the idea that when you grow, and this is a new process for me. This is why I have not, I can't communicate things I don't understand yet. So literally, a situation that has manifested before in your life will remanifest during the growing phase. And it is very weird because it's not even deja vu. Old boyfriends start popping up. I mean, all of them at the same time. Like, where are you coming from? Did you learn your lesson? That's what that is. I wrote an email to my friend today. And I said, sometimes you take the test over and over again, like the MCAT. You'll take that test until you get the right grade. And then once you get the right grade, then you can go forward and apply to medical school. But until then, you will be preparing painstakingly to take that test. You will take several versions of that test before you take the test. You will get several things wrong. You'll have to go back in, rehash, get it wrong again. And then you go and take the actual test, which is 8 hours. You got to wear layers of clothing. It might be cold. It might be hot. You can only have water. You can't take a bathroom break. You need those 2 minutes. All this preparation goes into taking the MCAT, and your ass take it, and guess what? You failed. Sorry, bye. Now maybe you'll get 2 more better points than last time, but you still didn't get the 33 or whatever it is that's what it used to be. The 33 or whatever the magical number is out of 45 that you need to get into Columbia, right? Okay. So this is life. This is exactly what happens in life. In life, as you are growing, you keep getting the same test. And I was like, I don't believe that, until I'm like, why is it when I'm doing well, are these crazy people coming back? Like, why are you, whoa. Now, this is what is leading me to the topic of discussion, which is, I'm going to take the what goes around comes around now in a metaphorical and karmic sense, not in a literal sense. And then I'm going to also relate that to why I say your environment reflects you. All of what I just said about these people coming around is what's making me see all of these messages. So the next thing is what goes around comes around karmically. So not only do you physically re-manifest old stuff, and you might be fine and they might be fine. It might be your time, or it might not be your time. And you better see it quick. You know what I'm saying? Quick, because your reflection is going to show that, right? That disturbance. And they come back with a vengeance, with a grueling vengeance. Like, whoa! It's intense. Like, I was shaking. I was like, every time they call me, I'd be shaking and twitching. Because, honestly, you guys, I do go to therapy every week. And she was like, I just want you to know you have PTSD. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. That's what that feeling is every time, certain people, certain exes, because I've had crazy, my stuff is crazy. So all these people come and I'm like, you have a triggered response. That is PTSD. You have a triggered response. You're not thinking about it. You just hear their name. And like, I have dreams about these people sometimes. This is TMI. I used to wet the bed with the first guy. I was like in my 20s, wet the bed at night. Because I had such traumatic situations happening. Like, I'll pee on my, like, whoa. So, it's no, coincidence that when you have the same type of situations, obviously they're different, but you have similar situations, you have the same response. So what goes around comes around, speaking of, also goes around karmically. So obviously people put something out there, you catch it, you receive it, they then get the karma from that, supposedly, right? That they will reap what they have sown. But what about you? You contributed too, right? I contributed. You don't stay, crazy girl. You don't stay with that. You're peeing on yourself. You think you want to leave? I'd like to, but I'm crazy, so I can't. So why don't you leave, right? Well, you know that you don't leave, and this is not just relationships. This is your job. This is your friendships. This is your family relationships that are toxic, right? I mean, we have toxic relationships with people who have molested us. We have toxic relationships with people who have raped us. We have toxic relationships with people who don't support our dreams. That's toxic. That's deep, right? Oh, we're such great family members and we're going to give you money and food and clothes, but we are not going to pat you on the back when you go after your dream. We're going to slam you into the ground for even trying because you're not worthy of that. Because that's what that is, abuse. That's telling you you're not worthy of your queendom or kingdom. Because your queendom and your kingdom is, you built it. I mean, let's pretend you were a queen, right? Let's just play a little game. Let's play an imaginary game. I'm a queen of my country. First of all, I'm fabulous. Okay, I have all my adornment. And, you know, of course, there's going to be fine men on either side of me throwing flowers or something down. I mean, who cares? It's frivolous. It's my country. I do whatever I want. Okay, I live in a great palace, right? The floors are marble. I have wonderful architecture and top-notch, you know, artists from all over the world. And they're painting pictures of me. I'm waiting for them. You know, I'm Rose on the couch in Titanic. I mean, I'm the queen. Fabulous garments and royal trees. And I'm adorned, right? I eat great food. I have the best personal trainer, so my body is sick. You know, all that stuff. This is my queendom. And of course, in your queendom, you can banish or keep whoever you want. Now, if you're a queen, are you going to have a peasant in your queendom? You shall certainly not, right? You're not going to bring all that stuff into your queendom and kingdom. You want the, you know, you want the royalty. You want the best of the best. Granted, you might have some slaves or something. Okay, I'm getting too detailed. But my point that I'm trying to make is in your queendom, you choose who goes there. So as a queen or a king, and this is my epiphany, I was like, well, why would you let in something that is not of you, right? Okay, so in your queendom, you're not going to let in anything that's not of you. So when you do, what are you saying to yourself? That you're not worthy, right? Okay, okay, that's obvious. Well, then you go to yourself and you say, theoretically, my karma is what I sow. So if I agree with a relationship, essentially we talked about agreements in vision class, but when you have agreed that your queendom is not worthy of you, then you obviously move forward with that person. You've agreed. You're saying that this is okay, because even though you fight and you argue, it's obviously okay, or else why would you even be around it? I mean, let's just be real. There are certain men that if they came up to me right now, I would walk away. Like, I wouldn't even try. You know, I'm kind of nice to everybody, but I would walk away in the end, hopefully, and not get their number. They don't get mine, or they hopefully don't harass me, right? Okay, so if you can walk away from certain things, why then are certain things you still stick with? Well, what happens to your mindset? Obviously, we can go back really deep, and I'll just put it to you like this. Anything that's a pattern is from your childhood. Why? Why the hell is it a pattern? I mean, it would be a one-time event if it were not from your childhood. If you continuously repeat a pattern, what goes around comes around. It's a pattern. Anything that you repeat doing, right? You keep getting an unhealthy relationship. You keep working at jobs you hate. You keep abusing, you know, your kids verbally or emotionally or whatever. Or you continue to have friends that are fake or whatever it is. If that's a pattern, it goes back to your childhood. It does. People don't believe it. They don't want to believe in therapy. Well, let me tell you why it goes back to childhood. It goes back to childhood because how does a pattern get somewhere? It's called it becomes ingrained. When does anything ever get ingrained? When have we learned? What have we learned from vision class? Everything gets ingrained when? Ages birth to 7. We know this for a fact scientifically. We also know this metaphorically. We know, not metaphorically, spiritually. Sorry, my daughter is coughing. We know this. So we know that anything thus that is a pattern in your adulthood is ingrained. It got ingrained during childhood. It did not get ingrained during adolescence. It was not ingrained during college. It wasn't, right? To ingrain something new means you force yourself to ingrain it. If you are fat and you don't eat properly, that is because it has been ingrained somewhere in your childhood. And guess what? In order for you to remedy it, you have to change your what? Lifestyle. Guess who has to do that? You. Hard work by you all the time, never giving up, constantly remaining vigilant. Why? Because it's ingrained. It's that difficult to remove. It is not easy to remove. If it were easy to remove, you would have removed it. You understand what I'm saying? You're a queen. Why would you not remove that? Thank you. What did they do in Michael Jackson's video when they came up to Iman and he was sucking at the talent trick? They killed him, right? And the other one did the fire and they killed his butt too. Then Michael Jackson came out the dust and he right, and the beat came on and you was like, do you remember how nobody else can do this choreography but you? And everybody was like waiting for this premiere. Yes, king. He was king. I don't care. Thank you, Michael Jackson, for your contribution to our society. No one will ever be you. I love him. Anyways, the point is, you don't let people in your kingdom you off with their head. So if you let it in there, guess what? You've opened the door for the roaches and rats to come in, and they get to come in. And guess what? You deal with it for the rest of your life. Isn't that crazy? So while you're dealing with it, you have to learn from it, because what goes around comes around karmically as well. So if you put out there that it's okay for these people to come in, you let the rats and roaches in. And I'm not trying to be nasty and try to be mean about certain people. I'm not saying they're rats and roaches. I mean, they kind of are, but I'm not saying that because it sounds like a judgment. I'm just saying, for lack of better terms. So when you let the rats and rodents in, then the rats and rodents get to come back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, patch the hole up. You got to make sure you patch it up, right? Because look, we had rats when I lived in New York. We had them. I hate this story. Okay, I don't know if I can. I hate telling the story. The point is, oh, I don't remember. The point is, we didn't know where the hole was. They always came back. Oh God, they always came back. Get it out, get it out, get it out. Talk about anything else. Watercolors, paint, fuchsia, purple. Okay, I had to go to another thought. I had a thought replaced and I don't want to think about it. Okay, point is, you let them in, they stay in, they can come back, and they do, and they come back. So your environment is reflective of you. Now, there is a saying that goes, sorry, very traumatic. There is a saying that goes, you are what? The sum of the 5 people closest to you. Let me be clear. The 5 people closest to you are not there because of default. They're there because of choice. So that's the 5 people that you go by. Because like I was at work and someone said that to me, and then the dancers like looked at each other like, we're all the result of the average of the 5 of us put together. And I was like, no, because I mean, I'm not technically choosing to be around you. You know, I'm choosing to be around who? My child, my whoever, right? Okay, so that's the 5 people. So if you look at those 5 people in your life, just rattle off a list. I can do that easily. Of the people who right now are the 5 closest to you, then that is you. How? How is that you? Well, if one of those people is your abusive boyfriend, then your self-worth is low, obviously. Like, come on, let's be real. If they're abusing you, it's low. No one should abuse you ever. I don't care who they are. So let's take a look at everyone in your life. They don't have to be boyfriend. Is anyone abusing you? Are you settling for any of these people in your life? But yeah, but it's my aunt. I have to. No, you don't. Obviously, that's easier said than done. So sometimes you do choose to have them in your life just to mitigate how difficult that parting will be. But eventually, this is what starts to happen. You have 5 people that, let's say you have 5 people in your corner, 4 of whom are totally ridiculous, and you wish that you could extract them from your life. Well, maybe you work with the easiest one. Like, I'm doing this. I totally do this right now. You take out the first person, right? You take them out. Like, off with your head. You're out of here. Okay? And you really let them out. Know that they're going to come back around some kind of way. They're going to come back around. And in the meantime, you still have 5 people closest to you, so there's going to be a replacement person, right? A consciously replaced person. Maybe you get close to someone at work. It might not even be conscious, right? Like, you just get rid of someone unconsciously, but consciously, you are living your life in a different way. So what happens is you leave room now. Make room for my love, just a little, right? You make room, sorry, I have to have a soundtrack. You make room for a new person. And so this new person is whoever, but since you're conscious now, you're not going to let anyone in that's pretty much not worthy of you, because you've already ascended past that. So you're not going to let someone else in. So eventually your circle gets tight with those who reflect you. Because they will reflect you, because why would you then? It reflects your current state of mind. If you're choosing not to have rats and roaches, you're choosing to have royalty, That's reflective of now the fact that you've ascended to your queen, your queen status, your king status. Like, let's put it to you this way, because this will segue into the last part of the conversation. You're a reflection of your environment, which is what I'm kind of going into now. So you're a reflection of your environment. So not only are you, and I have a video about this that's very in-depth, but that's coming. You're not only a reflection of those around you, you are also a reflection of your environment. Your environment, which is how clean is your space. Your environment, which is what type of foods do you eat. Your environment, which is where do you live, with whom do you live. Is it loud? Is it quiet? Are there people around you that maybe don't need to be around you? Like, what is your environment? You're reflective of it, right? So if you are going back to the reaping what you sow, going back to the what goes around comes around, if you are omitting things or omitting, oh, I'm dumb. If you're emitting things from your life that say, I will accept immature people into my life, right? Then you are immature. I mean, you're going to reflect that. Why? Because if they're the closest to you, then you're constantly dealing in that level. You have to deal in that level in order to maintain them, right? The minute they resonate or vibrate out, they are no longer vibrating or resonating with you. You're on a different level. So what happens is when you genuinely have gotten out of that level, there's no way you can go back. I mean, there's no way. You just won't. You've ingrained it as a habit within yourself. There's just no way, right? This is now ingrained. This is a pattern. This is a new agreement. That's what an agreement is. So as you start to recognize what your environment is reflecting back to you, you begin to either work forward or backwards. So either you change the environment to change your insides, or you change your insides to change your outsides. I'm an inner girl. I change inwardly. So I write morning pages like it is no tomorrow. I mean, I'm writing, because what happens is, oh my God, this is in so many videos that you're going to see. But what happens as you write the morning pages is, not only are you looking at what's inside of your head, but you are rapidly, as you know, taking everything out of your head. And there's just no lying. There's no lying that can happen when things come out of your head, right? And they get to be, you get more intimate with these pages. You get more realistic as you continue. You're like, I really like this person. Sometimes you just want to keep saying it over and over until you see it a different way. And sometimes you don't see anything. Just sometimes a word comes out that you didn't even know you were thinking, and you're looking at it now. It's real. It's tangible. You see, in your mind, you're dealing with intangibles. You're dealing with thoughts. Thoughts are transient. Thoughts are light forms of energy, which I go into explanation in another video as well. So thoughts are, I mean, what? Let me go to the Cheesecake Factory and get me a thought cheesecake pie, because I mean, what can you do with thought? Eat it, lick it, smell it. You can't use any of your five senses to deal with a thought. None of your senses can deal with a thought, except your sixth sense. Whatever. Right? Okay, so if your thoughts are intangible objects, writing them makes them tangible. What does that mean? That means, I can do something with this now. I mean, that's how we deal. We're physical beings, so that's why. So I am glued to my morning pages, because sometimes I can't get out of my own head. So I have to be, I'm an internal person. That being said, your environment is a reflection of you. So sometimes people lie, right? They lie. And you, like I said, you'll lie to yourself, right? You lie to yourself about, I'm in this relationship and I'm supposed to be in it, but we all know better. Like, we all know. But we can't, we can't tear ourselves from something that that was ingrained within us, right? We can't tear ourselves. Listen, even a pattern of how you get into these relationships, I don't want to say it's not your fault, but I want to say that you can't be at fault for the pattern. You're not at fault for the pattern. The pattern was ingrained. What you're at fault for is not recognizing the pattern past a certain point, right? Because it's a pattern. So now you have to recognize them. You do it all the damn time. Can I notice that I have a pattern of smoking cigarettes? You know what I mean? You know that there's a pattern. So when you get to the point where you're like, okay, because even a cigarette or even an addiction, if you ever read the book by Pax and Chris Prentice, it's called Alcoholism and the Addiction Cure. These are the people who did the, what is it, Paradise or Palisades or something, whatever that rehab treatment facility is. The name of the book is Alcoholism and the Addiction Cure. And the Pax boy, the son, he had an 80-page chapter in there, and I'm not lying to you. I was glued to that chapter. My eyeball was on the page. I was like, oh my God. I mean, he talked about his heroin addiction and how he got over it, but he was explaining a holistic perspective for understanding why you even have a heroin addiction. Because you don't need an addiction if you're all good. Okay, so anyways, point is, how you karmically, manifest your life and everything. I'm losing my train of thought here, and I'm trying to go back to it, which I rarely ever do. Your behavior that's a pattern, that's where I was going. Your behavior that's a pattern that's ingrained within you you cannot be blamed for that, but you can be blamed for not noticing that. Like, I mean, really, like, you're going to really date this kind of evil person again. You're not going to evaluate yourself. So what happens when a person cannot... How many of us know that we moved on, but they didn't? This is all tying into my ending. We moved on, but they didn't. Why didn't they? Well, you can look at their environment to dictate to you who they really are. And I mean literally look at their environment. First of all, look where they live. Okay, maybe they live in a nice place. Look at the next thing. Who are their friends? Do they have any? What are their friends like? Reflection of who? Of them. So if you meet someone's friends, I hate all of his friends. Well, you hate him. He's not going to have those friends. We talked about why. If he's a true king, or if he's at least your king, because the king in your kingdom is not going to act like a king from another kingdom. You're going to act like the king from your kingdom. That's why it's a soulmate. And the soulmate for you at the time that you meet that soulmate is going to match the way your kingdom looks. So if your kingdom is raggedy with rundown buildings and rats and roaches, then your king is going to be a rat and roach. I mean, let's be real. Because you can't sustain it. So if you continue on and you're like, you know what? I don't want no rat king. Ratatouille. I'm sorry. Have you seen Key and Peele? He was like, I got a ratatouille. Google Key and Peele Ratatouille. It's kind of gross, but it's funny. Okay, sorry, I have to stop myself. I love them to death. Point is, these people are reflecting their reality, and if your king is in your kingdom, they have to reflect the same reality as you. So if you are not willing to put up with his friends, then you're not really willing to put up with him, because he's going to have his friends over for dinner at your dinner parties. I mean, what? He's not going to have his friends. He likes them. You don't. You see? So you have to decide, right? Okay. So you meet the dude, you don't like his friends, and you decide to get rid of him, and you decide to continue elevating your queendom. And, Rat King comes back over looking for some nibbles to nibble it on. She's coughing. The Rat King comes back, and he has his hands out for a handout. Now, there's two things that can happen when people come back and you're on a new vibratory plane and you can't reflect that back anymore. You just don't reflect it. One of two things happens. The first thing is you learned your lesson. Ha ha ha, I'm in my new queendom and it's really plush, but you, sir, are a rat. And the way that I know that is I look at your everything. I look at your mood. I look at how you treat people, including me. I'm looking at how you treat your family. I'm looking at how you treat yourself. Are you allowing yourself to be in? Have you grown at all? Right? Because then you can know if he's from the old kingdom or if he done elevated and gone to the new kingdom. Well, that's the first scenario. If you recognize that they have not elevated and they're still there, you go, right? Okay. And then your queendom is still cute. Because if you let a rat into your queendom, the rat will surely eat up all your food. And, nibble at a couple people's ankles. You have an unhappy queendom, and guess what you start reflecting? What the rat is reflecting, right? You're only as good as your weakest link. So now, that's your first scenario. Your second scenario is, ooh, you didn't learn. Let me tell you about that. Let me tell you about that. Don't do that. Now, we all have to learn from experience, so I can't tell you don't do that, and I expect you not to do it. Just don't do it. Okay, because if you do it, you will 110 and 50 and 60 and 1,000,000%, you will what? Reap what you sow. You are sowing that seed again. It hurts worse and it's harder to fix next time. You know, you took the test that you kept failing. Wasn't it just discouraging to try to take that test again? Like, damn, I keep failing this thing. I'm never going to pass. You have to have a lot of fortitude to be able to come through another test and another test and another fire and another scorching, right? It's a mess. So you don't want to do that. And this is how it's funny. Sometimes, sometimes the little peasants and things, and I don't, again, please forgive me for using this terminology. It's just an analogy, but sometimes it also fits the bill. But anyways, sometimes you allow like rats and roaches in. Okay, I just bought this new cute house, but I'm gonna let a rat in. Right, you see how that makes no sense? Nobody would do that. But if you're not really passing the test, you'll let a rat back in. So let's say you let the rat back in, and the rat comes, I like this cheese over here, and I like this little jelly bean you dropped from Easter that you forgot about, and I'm just going to invite a couple more of my rats over. Right? Okay, so your queendom start, I mean, eventually, if you have this is my mom's house, man, you might have a nice little house, but if a rat comes in, you ain't going to have a nice house. It's going to eventually look like the rat nest. So you have the rat nest because you let the rats in, so you reap what you sow now. Now, let me tell you why it's going to be harder. Has anyone had bed bugs? I haven't, but I've known people with them. Where do I start? Like, where do I start? I don't start. I just want you to know you can't get rid of them. Okay, you're not going to get rid of them. You might as well burn your house down, build a new one somewhere else. Don't even build it in the same spot. There will be a bed bug, and I guarantee you he will invite his friends. So, and every time it gets worse, right? It just gets worse because there was eggs you didn't know about, and those multiply even faster. And it's like, what is this, cicada season? Like, why do they keep multiplying? It gets worse when it comes around again, because this is why. You still have residuals. So not only are you letting in crap, you still have a little extra crap, because obviously you do to let it back in. So you have extra crap on top of new crap. Like think about how hard that... Look, let me tell you something. Here's a great analogy. When I go clean my car, I had better clean that car more than I cleaned it before. Because if I slack ever, it's like worse because I didn't get all the crevices the first time. So if you don't stay on top of it, you'll never get all the crevices. Eventually you'll fall behind. So this is what happens with your queendom when you let in cicadas, whatever, I don't know. You let in, okay. So your environment's a reflection. How does this help you with what goes around comes around? If you are in a situation where you've supposedly elevated and you've got some rats and roaches coming back in, how do you know they're a rat and a roach, right? Because we all have faith and love, and we just want everything to work out. And maybe this was somebody we really liked. Or, maybe this was a job. Like, hey, how many of us have gone back to jobs that we've had? What goes around comes around. Okay. So, have you ever been out of a job and that person comes back years later? Hey, you want to come back here? We always have open arms for you. No, I remember last time you accused me of stealing. Goodbye. You don't remember the bad stuff, right? You just remember the good. Because we all are, at the heart of hearts, we're benevolent beings, so we want things to be right. But let's say you accidentally let a rat in, and you don't know it's a rat, and maybe it looks different. Sometimes it's it's got a costume on. It looks like a bubble guppy. I mean, it looks like Jim and the Holograms, or whatever their names are, right? So you don't know it's a rat. Fair enough. How do you know they're a rat? Everything's a reflection, right? So you have to be super keen on what is being reflected. How many, raise your hand, ladies, baby, I love you. Yeah, I'm just going to have this chick over here, but baby, I love you. You know what's happening by this picture, right? Yeah, baby, I love you, girl. And, but I'm perturbed and a little confused. You love me, but you are with another woman right now. Like, they're in your home, correct? Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. How does that make any sense? So don't get, this is where we come, this is, whoa, I mean, when I say red flag, it is red flag season, right? It is raining red flags. We never look at them because we don't look at reflection, right? We're such benevolent beings. What do? We expect the best. So it does not matter what they say. It does not matter what they do. We are looking at what we want to see always. Don't ever get that twisted. Don't ever take that for granted. Okay? You will always get shocked with that reality that, oh, I'm seeing things through a rose-colored glass, right? So how do you stay on top of it and stay aware? I mean, from the minute, the second, the moment that you feel uncomfortable, draw attention to that. I'm not asking you to rectify it in that moment. It may take you a couple of test tries, right? We said we get tested all the time. Sometimes you need to get a little bit more hurt. Just make sure it's a little less hurt than you were last time, right? Just constantly succeed. Just constantly climb the ladder. Doesn't have to, you don't have to get to the top rung on the first try, okay? If you fall off that damn ladder and you were on rung 2 when you fell off, just make your next goal rung 3. That's it. That's it. And what'll happen is that you have to do it though. I mean, when I say you have to, but he's so fine, but I'm making so much money at that job, but none of it. Don't fantasize. Here's what happens with our creator. Our creator is so divine. Something could look so tantalizing, so appetizing, and it's still not for you. So how do you know that it's for you, Shira? Guess what I do in my morning pages? I write what's for me. That's what I do. I say, this is what it looks like. This is what it smells like. This is what it feels like. Okay, when I have it in my hand, this is what, this is how I feel when I have this thing in my hand, or when this person's around me, or when I have this career. I wrote it down. I mean, I wrote it down to the T with the ballroom career. When I say to the T, it manifested to the T. I wrote that I needed to work there instead of take lessons. Why? I mean, I wrote all this down. I said, I don't need to take lessons because the lessons are probably $1 million and I don't have $1 million nor do I have a job. So my job probably needs to be that so that I'm forcibly practicing not only that, but getting a paycheck from there. That was exactly how it manifested. The other times I was going to have to pay for it, or I was going to have to take from an instructor who was highly seasoned and charged a lot of money. So that's why it never manifested before, because I didn't say what my queendom looked like. I mean, look, come on, you ladies and gentlemen, hopefully, but probably ladies. When you design your queendom, are you going to let someone else come in, an interior designer? Tell me what my queendom looks like. No, I know it needs to have palm trees. I know that there needs to be no rats in there. Like, you'll be very descriptive about your queendom when it's yours. I mean, if you want to hire an interior designer, fine. But you're such a queen that you fire the designer if it doesn't look like what you want it to look like, right? So you design your own queendom. That's how you know. And I'm talking a lot of stuff here because I'm gonna keep it funky. I've fallen off the ladder. I've fallen off. And you keep getting presented with a test to see, just can you climb one step higher, just one step higher. I can officially say yes, because there are points that I have gotten to, like you guys saw me. I thought I was there and I wasn't there. And then I thought I was there again and I wasn't there again. But I was elevating each time. So here's with complete confidence that I can tell you I'm still not there. I know I'm not there. That's all I know. I mean, right now everything's okay, but you will get thrown these distractions. They will be thrown at you, thrust at you, especially when you're doing well. But guess what you do in those moments? You get excited. I'm like, oh, something really good's about to happen. That's the only reason that I'm being taunted right now. That's the only reason I'm being taunted. So you keep your focus through that, right? Because it's a storm. But in the end, a storm, yields crops or water for those who are thirsting for it. So the storm is raggedy. It's for a good cause. And you don't know what the storm is for yet. So you kind of have to have faith in the storm. But as scary as it is, and it's scary, you know what I'm saying? Like it's requiring really, really big decisions to be responsible for your life. Like they're very major decisions, like letting go of someone. That's what it usually entails. Letting go of someone, a situation, a thing, a noun. Letting go of something that is very, very attached to you. But doing it in such a way that is healthy for you. And that's hard, because sometimes it means dealing with an emotion that you're not ready to deal with, right? That's tough emotion. Mourning, letting go of someone. I haven't got the formula for that down yet, but these are all different lessons, right? Some lessons are don't let the rodents in. Some lessons are how you're not going to let the rodent in. It might present itself in a very fatal manner. But the ultimate realization is, even when things present themselves, understanding that they're ultimately reflections of something, right? And those situations are also reflecting back. How do I want to say this? I need to say this properly. All right. Not only is the situation presenting itself as a reflection of you, but you have to kind of look at the situation of what is it reflecting for itself. Example. Let's say an old friend comes back in your life that was like really toxic, right? Like, let's say they had you on drugs, like you was just strung out when you were with them, and your decision to elevate was to let them go. When they come back in, instead of looking at them with how they relate to you, look at them with how they relate to themselves. Look at this person and say, are they still on drugs? Yes, they're still on drugs. So what are the chances that they're reflecting in my life negatively and I need to let them go again? Like, or remind myself why I let go. Chances are high because they're still doing the same stuff. So then you say to yourself, okay, what are they reflecting for themselves? Then you look at opportunity. Where am I an opportunity in this person's life? Because people cannot grow when you don't show them the example, right? Who said this? Bruce Lee? It was either Bruce Lee, Einstein, or Buddha. I don't know who it was, but same person. The point is, right? Wouldn't that be funny if it was all the same person that kept unzipping? Okay, anyways, the point is, when that's a good idea actually for a sketch. The point is, when people manifest themselves in their new skin and whatnot, what are they? Tay Queen is here. I need to holler at you, by the way. I didn't forget about. I'll hit you up. Okay, so sorry, I just saw that she was here. So you have all these people unzipping and they're manifesting their true selves, like, oh, they still a druggie. What opportunity do you have to change yourself in that moment for their, for their benefit? I was gonna say on their behalf, for their benefit, right? So for their benefit, let's say you're like, oh my God, this person is tragic right now and I do not need to be around them. There is a greater reason that you're in their life. They are reflecting you for a reason. They're probably ready to elevate, and this is your opportunity to elevate them through your example. That is a healing. It's a scary healing though, because it still requires that you let go of them during the healing, but it's still a healing, right? So I'm laughing. Is this my third eye opening up? This always happens. Like I start saying stuff and then this part of my eye be itching, or this part of my eye. I know that that's weird, guys. That's probably really weird for some people, but whatever. I'm just going to tell you that, again, I've made so many videos that are not out there yet, but so many times have I encountered the connectivity of everything that I just understand everything is like, what's this mean? What's that mean? That's how I'm constantly analyzing. So anyways, point I'm trying to make to you guys is, when you see these toxic people come back up and they're still toxic, why is a rat coming to your queendom? Because my queendom is fabulous. This rat ain't at that queen's door. This rat, it's like not a compliment because like rats are at your door. But this rat is not coming to your queendom because you're a familiar queendom. It's because you have a great queendom. They probably sense it and they're like, they got some good food over there, and so they're going over there. So this is what you have to do. And look, let me tell myself this, but you reflect the light. That was the quote. What is it? Be the change you want to see in the world. Who said it? I know it was one of these three people. I feel like it was Einstein. Einstein is killing them with the quotes, by the way. Killing them. He's killing them all. You have to go on, just go Einstein quotes. You'll be up there like, he was deep. I love Einstein. I love Einstein like I love Michael Jackson. I do. Okay, the point I'm trying to say is, okay, what is the reflection that you are showing? Why are you showing up in their life, right? Independent of why they're in your life, why are you in their life? Okay, and if you're at a certain level of ascension, and you're showing up in a rat's life or in a whatever, a bum's life, I don't know. I'm sorry. You're showing up there. Why? Your transcendence is really tantalizing for some people, and they want a piece of that. I mean, that's what they saw in you in the first place, isn't it? Isn't that how they isn't that how you got your job? You were attractive at the beginning and it sucked the life out of you and you sucked and you had to build it back up. So they just want some more of that sweet nectar. I don't mean it like that. The point is, when these people show back up and they are trying to get your light, it's not like, nah, I'm gonna keep it. It's not like that. It's like, I'm gonna share it in a different way that does not involve you. I'm just gonna share it by shutting you down because you're not gonna get the opportunity to act this way, or you will not get the opportunity to suck the energy out of me. That shows your true transcendence. And then guess what happens there? Well, then once you pass the test, can't you teach it? I guess you're a teacher now. You've ascended to the master level, right? And guess what a master is? A master is a queen or a king. So, and you know, it's funny that Wendy's on here, and these are people who are dealing with vision class heavily, but like Wendy's in here and Tay Queen's in here, and there's somebody else. People put the word queen in their name for a reason. You know, it's almost like if you keep telling yourself that, what are you not going to reflect that eventually? I mean, you keep hearing it. Of course you will. Of course you'll manifest it. I was trying to, it's a little tight. It's a little tight there. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. So the last thing is get really excited, because when rats come to your door, you know that you have the best food in town. You know you have the best queendom. Yes, I know you want to stay at this 5-star resort. You don't get to, because you're going to make me have to burn this resort down, and that's really unfortunate. So you want to make sure that you get excited. Now I'm really excited. Like, what's about to happen? I'm so excited. Like, I'm waiting patiently, because the thing is, you can get excited when you're about to pass the test, right? Because you can do what? You can celebrate. And that's exactly what happens in the cyclic, what goes around comes around world. Amen. Right? Okay. Right. Okay. It was Gandhi that said that. Whatever. Einstein said something. Einstein said something like that. Somebody, look, if you can't find it, I'll find it, because I like started pulling all his quotes out. Last note, okay? Yes, I totally tied that up. Didn't I make that cyclic and circular and tie that up? Did you see it? Okay. Last thing I wanted to say is, I forgot. Those of you who are just now joining, if you want to watch this video, it will be on Vision Class channel. Like right now, like as soon as I get done with this, or however long it takes to upload, because this has been taking me days. Vision Class channel is also very much replete with the videos that it didn't have before, so at least it has all of the Vision Class videos. They kind of like haphazardly are presented to you, but they're there. And because I'm gonna work on it, it's a process like everything else. What was I gonna say about Einstein? I'm reading a book. It's entitled The Elegant Universe by Brian Greene. I don't know, some Jewish name. And he is. And obviously he's a brilliant physicist, whatever. He's brilliant. But here's the interesting thing about reading the book. The book is on many levels very readable. Here's why you should read this book when you're ready. It is, yes, it's all about physics and quantum physics and merging them together for a unified theory, which really, no one needs to go through all these details. Let's just look at the greater connectivity of everything, and that's your answer. That's your unified theory. You don't need to go through all this. But anyways, they go through it, and they let you know how Einstein came up with his laws and special relativity and general relativity, and how time moves and things of that nature, and how fast light is, and blah, 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 and the faster you... If you can read it slow enough so that you can try to absorb it, you probably won't absorb it the first time, because I know I got to read it again, but I definitely... Some things absorb later on, you know, like the flavors in food, they taste better like 3 days later. After a while, I'm like, wait a minute, now I know what they were just saying, right? You know, you have an epiphany, a green light. Well, I've been reading this book, and I'm gonna tell you, the revelations are astounding, because once you do understand the greater connectivity of everything, which I try to do by studying science and spirit constantly, because of course it's related. You don't just live through your spirit, and you don't just live through your body, ever. When has anyone just been floating around? I mean, do you see them? No, you ain't looking at them. So you know that you deal in physics, and you also know that you deal in spirit. Because what is the breath inside of you? The breath is, once again, like I asked earlier, can you put it on a plate? Can you get it at Cheesecake Factory? I'd like some breath on my sandwich. I mean, what are you going to tell someone? It's oxygen. Yeah, but I mean, what is life? I mean, who are you? I mean, some bones and some cells? No, I mean, you're more than that. You have thoughts. I mean, what is a thought? You can't even describe what a thought is to someone. Something inside of your head. Is it like what? Is it a physical thing? Is it like a remote control? Like, what is a thought? It's a fine form of energy that is perceived through the mind. That's my definition of it. Anyways, I had to think about this. I was like, what is a thought, right? You know, you can't touch it, but it's there. You can't describe it to anyone. It's deep, ain't it? Ooh, like the color red. Some things just are. So then you have that recognition, like, oh, some things just are. So obviously that's a theme within life. And that's why I love Einstein, because he can take physics and apply it to life. Absolutely. Every message in physics is also applicable in the spirit. Every single thing, and vice versa. Once again, everything is a reflection of something else. Amen. All right, it's 12:34. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play that number. I am going to go. And you will expect to see a video from me Friday. I'm working on my computer because God bless life. I have actually stuff on my computer. Right? We're going to work on elevation. And I just want to remind you, 14 pounds. My goal was 30 by December. That's a lot to try to lose. But 14 of it. And it's October 24 coming up. Oh, it's October 24. 10-24. 1-2-4. Play those numbers. I don't know. All right. 2013. Play 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are still the numbers. You see how I play the numbers game? I always see numbers. Yes, you do too. Good. All right. So, you should be, if you're aware. All right. It's all connected. So you should be seeing some videos from me, but on Vision Class channel. And if you don't know why, there's no videos on Sugar Free TV whatsoever. You have to watch the beginning of this video, which will be made available to you in several hours when it uploads. Yes? Does anyone want to ask me anything or talk to me about anything before I go, since you are here? You know I don't be making videos lately, so I'm trying. Oh, and Take Queen, I did not forget about, and I'll just hit you up. Anybody wanna say any? Okay, let me upload these videos. Yes, let's upload these. Okay. Oh, what's this called? Monthly seminar, Vision Class, monthly seminar, October 2013. Import. Okay, viewers, the 10 viewers, any questions before I do the piece and piece? Okay, we got a new one. That we're going to do. We're going to do piece and piece, but here's my favorite one. Hey, don't get nothing on you. All right. I like to say that when I leave a room now. Tina Turner. Okay, anyone? I'm going to go back down and see if anyone had anything to say. Because this is going to make me... Crystal Chanel, I'm so late. What did I miss? Girl, everything. But that's okay, because you can watch this video. I did record it. Thank you. Jeebus. Okay, Erica left. She had to get up at 5 a.m. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. You can always watch this in archives. I'm so excited for life. Are you excited for life? I'm excited for it. It's horrible. It is a horrible hot mess. The whole journey. Hot mess that constantly feels better. I don't know how this happens. No one? No questions? It's 12:37. I'm going to give it to 1240. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to say something. Okay, controversy time. What do we think about the constant nudity in the media? What do we think about it? Post your thoughts. I'm oily. Do you like this color? Do you see what this is? You see how it's several colors? You know you guys like to check stuff like that out. Can you see it? You can't see it. It's the new San Francisco collection, which is stupid and sucks, but whatever. No, everyone's leaving. It's 12 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to go to bed so I can keep myself from eating food that makes me blubber. Oh my goodness, someone just texted me and I forgot. Okay, well, whatever. All right. Be more. Hi. Hello. Anyone have any questions? No? Y'all just know everything about life, and so do I, right? Okay. So we have nothing to say to one another. That's tragic. Well, I probably will go. I'm trying to wait 2 more minutes because I know that everybody's on a delay from what I'm on. And I also need to start updating calendars for y'all. Hello, Netheru. Is that Egyptian? It sounds very Egyptian. Is that Egyptian? I have to know if this name is Egyptian. Anyone? Anything? Anyone? Are you still doing your morning pages? Are you still living life in the vision class way? Do you still draw upon the lessons in each week to get you through something? Okay, good. No answers. All right, I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's about 12:40. Yep. Thank you for watching. I kind of like this session, right? And there's no editing, and it's just like whatever comes out my mouth. So if I make a mistake, can't edit it out. All right, everybody. Aldo, $10, I think. Aldo. Aldo? No. Wait. Okay. I don't even remember. All right. Well, they were $10 somewhere. Okay. And this is my hair. I did a trick. Okay. Well, you guys like the fashion stuff, anyways. All right. Peace and peace. Hey, don't get nothing on you. All right.